Okay, here we go again. It's day 4. I've turned on Facebook a few times this evening and have seen several people mention the sadness in our country today. It is sad, hard week. This political stuff is rough out there. We've got a lot of people with mental issues who are struggling to find their way. So, a couple things I thought I would say about that. One is hold on to hope. Remember, in the big scheme of things, that none of this, where our country's going stuff, is a surprise to God. God has known this master plan, and He's been working out a master plan for a very long time. So while some of this stuff surprises us and worries us and kind of sparks the fear of the what ifs, remember it's nothing that is too big for the God who created the world. When we anchor ourselves in history, we anchor ourselves globally, as much as it's a mess down here today, the truth is it's been a mess in this world for a very long time. We are so blessed. Any day we just get to have a normal, easy, happy day. Not a vacation day, not a, I went to Six Flags day, just a day where, golly, I got to brush my teeth, take a shower, and eat a warm meal. We forget the simplicity of the beauty that we have so much in that. So in the context of being a little overwhelmed with things, keep in mind, this does not surprise God. Now, number 2, I have a confession. So I'm kind of on my way going to bed early because I'm actually really tired. So I put on this flannel shirt I've been wearing all week. Now, I started wearing this flannel shirt, I believe it was Saturday night a week ago. I probably shouldn't confess that, and I should probably wash it. Hey, I'll just pretend it's been washed at least once, or that I haven't worn it every night. So for any of you out there who are more hygienic than me, make sure you're not going to be freaked out and never want to listen to me again. However, the truth is, Saturday night, my husband was gone. And we had discussed the fact it was going to start to get cold, and he said, well, you might want to wait till I'm back to turn on the heat on just in case. And so I obliged, but I hadn't pulled down our down comforter, which I still haven't done. And so I just had this light quilt and a sheet, and it was like really cold outside. And in the middle of the night, I woke up and I just thought, I am so cold. And so I went to the closet and I grabbed this flannel shirt that he actually sometimes wears, not a lot, but for some reason it's just very comfortable to me. So I pulled out his flannel shirt and I've worn it off and on actually to bed all week long. And the funny thing was, so he gets home. The next day on Sunday, I did not go to church that day. And so I stayed in the flannel shirt and some leggings, and I put on this sweater wrap kind of over it to stay warm. And he gets home in the afternoon, and he later on, and we're sitting at the table watching something on my computer, my laptop, and he grabs the sweater. I'd taken the sweater off, and he puts it over his legs. He goes, "Ooh, I'm cold." And I sat there in his flannel shirt, and I said, "Hey," I said, "that's my sweater." And I gave him this hard time, and the minute I said it, I went, "Oh, wait a minute. I think I'm wearing his flannel shirt. I can't exactly point fingers when I've got this shirt on." So anyway, it was definitely a, oh my gosh, maybe I need to look at myself a little bit more moment. You ever have those? It's so easy to look at somebody else and go, hey, that's mine. But to forget that maybe you've got something they are lending, or I don't know. So anyway, all of that's to say, I'm giving that as hopefully a funny example, to say, do not forget that in this era of strife, every time we give of ourselves more, it really makes a difference. The small things matter. And I'm trying to keep looking deeper into myself, ways that I can be an encouragement, even if I'm not getting all the encouragement. I don't know. It's like that, where I want to point a finger, forgetting that, wait a minute, I'm wearing the flannel shirt here. I've got on his shirt, and I'm teasing him about wearing my sweaters or having my sweater on his legs. So anyway, hope that makes some sense, but I'm enjoying trying to allow my Thanksgiving to be more than my critiquing, I guess, maybe. So number 3, what was my third one? I had 3 things. It was hope, joy, joy and sorrow. I just wanted to say this last thing. I have somebody actually, I messaged tonight a little bit, and she has a hard October. Her husband died November 10th. My husband died November 3rd. So October for me for years, just the colored leaves would just stir crazy emotion. And it's a lot better now. Doesn't do that. It's been almost 22 years since my husband died. But for her, it's not nearly as long. So colored leaves are still hard. It's just emotional. But I say that to say that there is emotion. This stuff is really hard. This stuff is sad. This stuff is heavy. But we can get so inundated. It seems a little bit like our culture maybe has gotten inundated with the heavy to the point that we don't allow ourselves to appreciate the joy that we have in front of us. Joy and sorrow will be hand in hand all the time. I've seen it scripted in my life a lot, and I think I'm going to talk about that maybe the next couple nights. But joy and sorrow, as much as I years ago wanted to just steer north to just joy, like true joy is what it's about. I didn't want to hook it to sorrow. Like somebody actually said that to me. It was an aunt, and she tried to say to me when my husband was really sick, Susan, I've read where the deepest joys come the deepest sorrows. And I just remember going, no, the greatest joys come from the healing, from the victory, from the everything's okay. Not that he's going to die and I'm going to be okay. No. And yet I have to say at 49, I am recognizing more that the true joy, it does have a bump up against sorrow. So I just want to say, in light of what's going on, there's a lot of sorrow out there, but also allow yourself the moments to feel the true joy. Sometimes I think we almost burden ourselves unnecessarily. It's this fine line. We need to feel, even Christ said, carry one another's burdens, and we need to grieve as a nation. We need to feel that, but we also don't need to get so chain linked to sorrow, to sadness, to heaviness, that we're not allowing ourselves to just enjoy a moment with our own families, enjoy a sunset, and feel okay. There may come a day that some of these situations are closer into our lives, and we can't help but be sunk or pulled down and weighed down into more sorrow with them. But don't feel like you have to chain yourself to a sorrow just to the point of missing out and not being able to live a day with some of the joy that's around you. Maybe it's just a Thanksgiving versus joy. Maybe that seems weird to say joy with sorrow on this day, but I just mean I do think that we can get a stirred fear in us. And so today, on the end of a week, when it's been a hard week, let's believe and hope that God has a plan. He still does. He's still working it out. Let's keep giving of ourselves and looking at ourselves in ways that we can be more thankful and more forgiving and more reassuring to others. And then let's also allow joy to ride along with us in the sorrow. All right, that's the end of day 4. See you, bye.